What's happening, beautiful people? It's Tuesday, the 29th of April. We're almost done with this month, baby. Bring on the dancing girls. It's the Church New Testament coming at you live on a Tuesday morning.
Welcome back to church!
What's happening, beautiful people? Uncle Joey with his beautiful and Jewish co-host, Lee Syatt.
Shalom.
Looking beautiful on a Tuesday morning. What's happening?
I've been good. I've been missing the Netanyahu minute. You've slowed down a little bit on that.
Listen, man,
did someone get to
information
you?
is coming in very cloudy. I don't want to say stuff, and then people saying Joey's putting out misinformation.
Can you imagine if you were like, what is that called? Where like you're a plant for Israel? You're
You're
an industry plant for Israel?
Yeah, no, I'm not an industry plant for nobody. I'm just a fucking guy trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. I'm just trying to do some stand-up. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I was telling you on the way in here, I had a situation last week with a fucking friend of mine. I like to say dear friend of mine, but I feel bad because she called, and I could see that it was a setup for something, and then finally the clouds parted and showed me the true color of the sky. She's like, can you come over here for my birthday and buy dinner? Like, that was the last fucking thing. And I just felt like, like I was telling these guys, if I see you every day and you're like, come over and buy me dinner for my birthday or come over for my birthday dinner, I'll go over there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I haven't seen this person in 2 or 3 months.
Dude,
2 months tops.
I can't, I don't get angry at a lot of people. There's a big difference between come over for my birthday and come over and buy me dinner for my. I hate more than anything people assuming that you're going to do something for them. You're very generous. I'm not as generous as you, but I would buy a friend something just because I wanted to. For anyone who would ask me for that, I don't think would be my friend, to be very honest with you.
It was just.
That's a terrible thing to ask somebody.
They're fucking wacky. They have certain expectations and stuff, but it was one of the wacky. And I didn't even get mad about it until like Tuesday.
Because you didn't realize what she had said to you?
I didn't even think about it. Like, I have so much going on in my coconut that I just realized on the drive now, a week later, that fucking this is what went down. I'm like, that was the weirdest, because I never heard from her again. What a coincidence that you don't call the next day and go, hey, I'm sorry how that came off.
Right.
I was just goofing with you, blah, 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 blah. No, never again. That's why it proved to me that that's what they called for you to just to go buy a dinner and make believe you're their friend for life and
those
take
people,
pictures and balloons and shit.
She didn't buy you dinner for your birthday.
I didn't even see it for my birthday.
Right, exactly. Like, that's such a fucking bullshit thing to ask somebody.
I didn't even hear from her on my birthday, I don't think. But I'm the type of guy, I don't worry about that shit.
Right, of course you don't.
Listen, people have lives. How many times have you sat there and it's 11:30 at night and you're watching the news or you're about to watch, after the news, and that guy that always comes on, hi, it's Wednesday, April 30th, and you're like, April 30th? That's a familiar fucking date. And all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, that's my best friend's birthday. But you've been so busy all day. Now what are you going to do? Pick up the phone at 12:30 and call him? No, you got to call him the next day and go, dog, how long we been friends? I'm sorry. So if you don't think that happens in my world, it happens. Well, people call me a week later and go, dog, I didn't even realize it was your birthday. You think I sit there and hang up on them?
No.
You think, listen, life is so fast and quick. Life is fast and fucking quick, man. And after a certain age, you're like, I don't even worry about birthdays.
Bro,
you got a kid. You know what I'm saying? But your friends, you just call them up and say happy birthday. You put it on the Facebook page,
Right.
Happy birthday with explosions or whatever the fuck they put on there, That's my deed for the day. I go on Facebook in the morning, somebody's birthday, I fucking send them a happy birthday.
That's
and
more
sitting
than
there
anything.
going, what the fuck? This guy, how come he said, I grew up with you. You fed me once. Something happened that just propelled me to fucking happy birthday to death.
And that should be more than enough. Like, dude, I can't tell. I'm a weird person, I guess, but I'm busy And for my birthday, what I love more than anything is to not have to do anything. Is to just stay home and get like something I want to eat and not have to do shit like that. To have like a birthday month and they have like 8 activities planned.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that shit. I have people who celebrate that birthday. Let's say their birthday's on Thursday. They start Wednesday night. Then they go straight to Sunday. And Sunday's like the big day. And you're like, you're not going to get me on that day. You got one day out of me. I'm not doing 4 days a year because it's your fucking goofy birthday.
No.
It's one fucking day. Unless you got a pound to blow. Then we go till we go. You know what I'm saying? Then we go till we go. But I'm not going to sit there and listen, man. Some people are really weird about their birthday.
Right.
And everybody loves having those birthday dinners. And the problem with those birthday dinners is that 10 to 12 people show up. And then it's a fucking challenge when the check comes. It's a challenge. The people who are like, well, I had 2 drinks at $12.95. Well, bitch, there's a thing called tax and tip. Okay, so $12.95, that's $26 right there. I expect to see a 40 out of you. Without even hesitation. You bring out the crowd. That's the thing that kills me. That's why I don't get involved in those. That's why when I go to those, I make sure I pick up the tab. Because I don't want to sit there when Jeopardy happens. And they pass it to each other. And and then they put the calculator. Listen, either take the card out or don't put the fucking calculator out. You're fucking embarrassing me.
Oh, it's the worst.
Just put the fucking card out. So if you go to dinner with 12 people, at 100 a shot, 3 of them got to be alkies. Right? 3 or 4 of them out of 12 got to be, they're going to sneaking drinks, $16 martinis, trying to get one on you. Now you got, that's $1,200 plus, that's $1,600.
Right.
I can't cover. I'll tell you all to suck my dick. $1,600.
No, fuck
600, that. 500. I'll cover on the American Express. Tell my wife a lie and fucking But that shit of 12 people, I don't go to those.
No.
Once it's more than 4 people, I don't want to. Because once the check comes, everybody, I don't know what happened. They start talking about the past, the future. I gave you a gift last year. I gave you a pet elephant. Listen. That was last year, motherfucker. The tab just came. And right now, I saw you over there having a good time drinking Zombos and fucking, eating everybody's food and shit. And now the check comes. And those people who show up to your birthday thing and they're like, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. I'm not hungry. I've been on dieting lately. I've been fasting. Wait till that first fucking Chinese spare rib comes.
I'll just have one.
And then they have one. Then they have a piece of egg roll. Then your fat sister can't finish the lo mein. Fat people always get lo mein. You always know that
we
shit?
really do.
They love lo mein, fat people. The fucking bag of fucking spaghetti. And then, then the check comes and nobody knows nothing. Then she sits there. I just drank water. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You ate half the fucking check here in cat little morsels. And just come. You came. Throw at least $50 in.
And it's always, have you ever had this where like they act like they're a big baller and then comes time to tip? Like I was just out to dinner with somebody and it was like a $200 tab and he was like, he wanted to leave $20 for the tip. And it took me a minute and I was like, hold on. He's like, that's enough. And he's like, it's in cash. They're going to love it. And I was like, wait a second. That's like 10 per. You can't. And I don't know the server, but like I would feel so terrible doing that. Like I was just in a hotel and that episode of The Sopranos was on where that server came out talking shit to Chris and Paulie, I think, and they hit him in the head with the brick and killed him.
Yeah.
And that, like, dude, I can't imagine. I as a server, I'd want to yell at people, and I never did. And I can't, like, the people who under tip piss me off just as much as those people.
Listen, I was never a server. And if you know anything about me, people under tip piss the shit out of me, yo.
Oh, yeah. It's like the worst thing a person
I always
can do.
eat an extra tip. Like if I go out with 2 or 3 families and one of them decides to, I go, you know what? I pulled the chick aside, especially if there's kids at the table.
Oh, yeah.
If there's kids at my table, I'll always tip heavy and I'll pull her aside. Not the fucking busboy, because that shit will go back to Ecuador, whoever the fuck. You know what's crazy about those migrants? They really like their little backpacks, don't they? They're like half retarded. You always see them with their little fucking backpacks. I just saw like 10 of them. And they all got that military hairdo. Like, I don't know who cuts that. It's not even a Flowbee. It's something else because it's a Flowbee Unleashed or some shit. It's like go straight up this way. But all of them are like half momos with these fucking backpacks. I don't get it. I can't. You put a backpack on. I can't put a backpack on.
What do you mean you can't put a backpack on?
Fuck, you like such a retard.
Well,
When I see somebody with a backpack, that kid, I would have mugged him in high school, or even now I'd mug him, just for general purposes.
what do you do with your shit?
If you got to carry that much shit, then you need a new life. Where the fuck are you going with all that shit?
They're looking for new lives. That's all they
Where
fucking
the fuck
have.
are you going? They got those bags, and it's like they're in the Marines, and they're walking down, 8th Avenue. Where you going? Where the fuck are you going with that military bag? I'm just curious. Where the fuck are you going?
Yeah.
What's in that fucking thing?
Supplies?
What kind of supplies? A computer. Okay.
A computer? Well, for me or for because I love a backpack.
Yeah, I could tell. But you see me, I've had a backpack for years. I put something in it, and I carry it like a man. I'm not put it on my back like fucking
But
Agent
that's why
Orange.
you have it. You flew to Texas, and all you had was I think all you had was your sleep apnea machine as your carry on. Like you didn't have and headphones.
And headphones.
What if you don't like carrying a sweater?
It's on me. It's on my
charger.
body. It's in my sleep apnea bag.
Now, what about, because I've never had, knock on wood, but like, what if they lost your bag and you don't have shit? You don't worry about that?
Listen, I always got weed on me. Just in
I
case
was
the
worried about
luggage
clothes
gets
or
there.
a
Fuck
toothbrush.
clothes. We can always buy clothes. You can't get the weed we're flying. You know what I'm saying? You can't smoke that weed. So there's always weed. There's always edibles in that bag. And that goes right through security. They don't even stop me.
No.
I put the weed in my sneakers now. They don't give a fuck.
Well, dude, we just had the DEA guy on. He said they don't give a shit about anything,
No.
which is crazy.
But they do. They do, but they don't. You're not going to go through the airport with a pound of weed on your shoulder.
Right.
But you got to hide it a little bit, dope it up, not let it stink. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's weed in my bag. So if the weed gets there, the only thing I need from that bag is a hose. I could borrow one of those. I get one from Amazon, delivered to the hotel in 8 hours.
Oh, what, for the sleep apnea machine?
Yeah, so the only thing I don't put in there is my hose. But everything else is in there. Computer, glasses, wallet, nicotine gum, even for a day, just in case. Dog, I'm hip. Sometimes you get to the airport and they tell you got a 9-hour delay. What are you going to sit there like a fucking Momo? Nah, now you can go back to the hotel room. Right across the street. Go right back, listen. And on the way back, you got no gel, you buy a hat. I got like 3 hats from places that I wouldn't even put a hat on. I just went to the airport, I doped it up. Before it pops back up, the monkey spit wears off. I put a fucking hat on there, and that's it. I'm looking good. You know what I'm
I
saying?
really don't have that problem. But I can't find a hat that fits my head.
No, look at it. Look at the size of that fucking
It
thing.
never. Oh, and I bought a hat recently, and I like it, but I feel like such a douchebag.
Oh, that little Puerto Rican hat?
Yeah.
Keep wearing it.
It's like an
You're
old
like a
Jewish
fucking
man's
faggot.
hat. What am I? I'm
You're
trying.
like a fucking faggot on roller skates. All you need is roller skates.
Dude, can you imagine me on roller skates in New York City? I would die
With that
immediately.
hat on? Oh, you make $10,000 in the morning.
Well, what? How?
Renting that asshole on roller skates. Because there's nothing more than a fag will like to fuck you in the ass while you're on roller skates. You give him some roller skates and he's behind you. He's fucking in the ass of Saturday Night Fever.
Just on the way to work.
Tremendous, staying alive up the ass. You could be doing that fucking thing. What do those people do in the Olympics? With the skates and shit? Figure
Oh, the
skate?
synchronized skating or
Yeah,
something?
staying alive. And he's just fucking with got a whistle, a Judas Priest hat. Forget about it. Who's better than Lee with roller skates? I would pay to see 2 faggots fucking on roller skates.
Yeah, I think
If
so.
you think this episode ain't gonna get 18 and under,
fuck
it's
'em
all
now.
over already.
Over on. Oh my god.
Listen, guys, if you're sick of this 18 and under shit, just go to Spotify and Apple. We're trying our best, but obviously it's not working no more. They want to put us on 18 and under. We don't even smoke pot on the fucking show. We don't even play music. We've taken away so many fucking things because, it's a shame.
It's crazy how far YouTube has fallen.
So you could use music on Spotify if you subscribe to Spotify.
Yeah.
You could use their music on a podcast or something.
Yeah.
There's something weird. So, can we stream on Spotify or fucking do anything?
We can put video on there. I don't think they do live streaming
because
yet.
this is, you can't say what's in your heart no more. And I'm not going to sit here and amendments and, the freedom of speech. That's bullshit, okay? That's bullshit in my fucking world. That's for comics that want to just make something up. We're Avengers. Yeah, okay, good. You haven't paid your taxes in 3 years, but you're trying to fucking normalize life by fucking saying some fucking amendment or some. I don't even know what the fucking thing is.
But dude, it's like, because think about it. When we started podcasting,
We were
whatever it
lighting each
was,
other on fire, farting.
oh my
fucking-
God.
We were doing everything, and then something happened. And listen, this is what it is now. I'm not mad at YouTube. They went corporate, rules tightened up, and this is the way it's going to be.
It is, but it's also like, because I don't know if you knew this. YouTube right now is the number one it's the number one place in the world where people watch and listen to podcasts. And the reason why people love podcasts is because of the hosts. They have a relationship with them. And podcasts like ours started like that. We're the reason why YouTube is up so high. I mean, yeah, a lot of it, but and then for them to like be so short-sighted. Like, yeah, I understand if you want them to be 18 plus, but don't hide us. Don't not tell people that we put up a video. We're not even doing anything that crazy. We're not, like, it's so wild where things have gone.
And then, you know, what the consumer doesn't understand is they watch an old podcast and they watch one of these and they go, these guys changed. We didn't change. We didn't change. Just the rules changed. We're still crazy. You know, if there was no foul, no harm, no foul. Guys, I'd have a 3-foot bong in here. I got one somewhere. I got the power one. Don't we have the power one with the fucking hoses and shit?
Oh, shit.
You know, I mean, this is it. You know, don't you think I like to talk about music? We had Dean on. We didn't even talk about music. Couldn't even put it on.
Yeah.
That's not us. It's not that we're lame. It's the rules that they... Listen, I spoke to my friend who has the highest podcast in the world, and they 18 him over when they see Pot Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, guys, this is the business. We have to find a platform. We could go nuts or maybe put one up like that once a week somewhere. We could just go nuts and, you know, naked women and whatever the fuck. You know, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to get some naked women in here. I want to get a guy and a girl on roller skate dancing and fucking jumping around. You know me, dog. I'm a freedom fighter. But this is bullshit.
And it is like you know what? Maybe we should put it up on Pornhub. Because Pornhub doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see me and you on Pornhub. You know, not even,
Can you imagine how disappointed they'd be?
you get home drunk, you're looking to jerk off, you pop up a site, and all of a sudden that fucking headless head pops up.
My big head's right there.
Forget about it. Take that hat and light it on fire when it's in your head. That's it. Next time you promote a date.
Why do I want it to be on my head when it's on fire?
Because that's the best thing you could do. Like, you're sitting there, and you have like a control in your hand, and you just and light it up a little bit and watch the smoke come out. People will fucking love it, Lee.
Yeah,
You'll
but
go
my head will
viral.
turn on fire.
Who gives a fuck?
I
You have
do.
no hair. If you had hair, then you don't want your head on
Yeah,
fire.
but if I had hair, then it would hide
Listen,
the
you get
burns.
spots once a month from something. This summer, you'll get something. You got to go to a jacuzzi. The girl's going to take you somewhere. You're going to get the fucking dead eye again.
I haven't gotten I haven't been in a jacuzzi probably since then. And yeah, the spots. Dude, if I don't wash my face like 3 times a day, I'm fucked.
You
I don't
should
know.
be washing your face 3-4 times a day.
No, but with like I bought like special shit.
Yeah, me too. You have to.
It's I never
Or
had to
soap
do that.
And a fucking
It's not
towel,
soap.
hand
It's
soap. And you scrub that dead skin off your face and let the new fucking face revitalize. God damn it. I don't even go with the loofah no more. That's a ripoff. That's for
don't do
white
loofah?
people. Fuck no. I get fucking shit that's coarse. And that's how I make my asshole one. I cut that in half and put it on a stick, and you rub your little muffler to get that gunpowder out from
You
around
really
the
need to
sides.
start selling that. The asshole cleaner that you have.
I'm trying to patent it, so relax. Don't give the fucking
Oh,
cat out.
I
I
apologize.
don't want the cat to get out of the bag here, but I get that hard. I've always loved those hard towels. And you scrub, and you
What, like
see.
SOS pads? What are you talking about?
No. SOS pads, what you scrub your fucking balls with after a long night in Vegas. No. I'm talking about the hand towels.
Okay.
There's some that are very soft, and there's some that are coarse, like a little coarser.
You like hard ones?
I like, because you want to get that dead skin off. That's what you're opting for. You want to exfoliate your legs. All that skin comes off. All that dead skin comes off. So you want to, like my ears. Some girl tells me that my ears are very shiny. I love that when people tell you your ears are shiny. That means you're fucking getting in there with that cloth, and you're scrubbing it, and it gives you a nice little shine. Then you put some cream on there.
I had no... Dude, do you ever have a girl or a woman like wash you in the shower? It was one of the
It's
weirdest...
very nice.
It was nice, but it was one of the weirdest things. over the summer when I was in Indiana. This girl I was hooking up with just like decided that she was like, and she loofed me hard. Like it was.
Yeah, because she wanted to get the dead Jew germs off you and shit. That bitch is smart. When a bitch washes you, it's because she knows you're a filthy motherfucker. And she wants to make sure that asshole and those balls are clean before she puts her beautiful mouth on them.
But
There's
no, it was
nothing wrong with that.
after sex.
The what?
It was after sex.
That's right. She doesn't want you to take her odor with her like a cat.
Oh my God. That was wild. I never had anybody do that before.
It's tremendous. When a woman bathes you, you just sit there. But by the time they go to bathe your knees, you get a hard on, it's all over. You know what I'm saying? They never get to your feet, those women. They never get under your knees. Once they bend over, you see the head in the area. Your dick just gradually stands up like a Ouija board, like one of those fucking Indian sticks. You know, what are you going to do? And then it's all over. They never get to do your feet. Anyway, back to the migrants with the backpacks.
Okay.
What the fuck? Why do they have backpacks? Can somebody please fix this microphone? No, don't get up. It's just a joke. I don't want to talk about the migrants with backpacks either. I don't know what they carry in those things. They brought those from Mexico.
They must have some food in there, you would think. Like they could probably set up a taco stand pretty quickly.
Anyway, they could set up. They have no knives. There's no pots and pans.
They definitely have knives.
No, well, they're Spanish. They definitely have some type of knife. But I don't see a frying pan.
Yeah, you're right. It's sort of like Oregon Trail.
Right.
You don't see that?
Yeah, no. They're not going camping, these people. They're not campers. Well, they live in the mountains, these poor people.
Fuck.
They jump through rivers and mountains and shit. But they should be the real CrossFitters, those motherfuckers.
Oh, you're going to start a whole new fitness trend of like just send white people to cross over the Mexican border.
What a great idea, the migrant worker. 7 and 9 every day. You climb hills, you jump out of a burning building, you run away from fucking coyotes, you run away from more Mexican people, they chase you in Central Park. That's gotta be good. They throw you in a mud bud, and you gotta see if every time you see a green truck, you gotta dive on the floor and shit and do a burpee. Every time you see an immigrant truck, you gotta do a burpee. That's a good idea, guys. Don't be stealing my idea, immigrant fitness. That shit is on fire. That's it, workout, that's everything.
Yeah, you could have George Perez be the trainer.
That's right. You have to run the fucking hills with the backpack.
Right.
Come on, dog. I'm always thinking. Thank God I smoke weed. I'm always.
You could have one for each country. Could have a different workout. If you think about it, the Cubans could have swimming.
Migrant Olympics.
The Migrant Olympics.
Oh my God, that's even better. And those Hondurans in that jail, they just go to live or die. It's like a Spanish Squid Game for those fucking. They just sit there all day with They just sit there all day with underwear and tattoos and hugging each other. You see that? You see those poor little fucking people in that jail? They just sit there, 50 fucking Mexicans sniffing each other's farts with their legs open in between each other. That's demoralizing.
Yeah,
that system is meant to break you, motherfucker.
And dude, have you seen
that system is meant to break? It's like a Cuban jail, no clothes on. You want to shit in that hole in the floor. Paper, toilet paper, good luck. That's why those 2 hands are for.
Oh my God, are you serious?
And Moro, fuck yeah, dog.
You've told me about the shitting in a hole.
It's like when these people come here, Russians, Yugoslavians, all these people, and they go to our prisons. They're like, are you fucking kidding me? This is Club Med. You got to fight for your food in those prisons. There's no food. They throw out like a chicken leg, and there's 8 guys in there. Somebody's dying.
Fuck that. Have you seen, I forget if it was Mexico or somewhere, but like they were just on it. Like the gangs just, like the cartel or whatever still runs the prison.
Yeah.
Like they have, one of them had like their families were still there. That's wild. I can't imagine. What about like going to like a country like that and going to prison there just by accident if you were on vacation?
Bro, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Oh.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's when people say to me, I'm leaving the country. Listen, don't buy no coke. Don't buy no weed from a Chinaman. You know, 'cause in Thailand, don't they kill you?
One of those, yeah.
One of those, they just kill you to death and you don't know.
I think it's the Philippines.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood for none of that shit. I know what happens here. And nobody's going to throw me in jail for smoking dope here. Nobody's going to hit me in the knees.
Oh.
And you think, Joey, you're shallow. I am. Because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm the kiss of death. All I do is go to a fucking hotel. The guy pushes me. I say something. Next thing you know, I'm getting beheaded. And I'm doing 50 years, and the government's on TV begging for me. Nobody wants me, you know. The Cubans, the Pope will let Joe Diaz live. I don't need this.
You don't think the government would come and try to exchange you?
Dog, the government don't give two fucks about you. That's why I was talking about Russ Perot the other day. Because when his fucking people got kidnapped, his employees, he got a guy that was retired to train his other employees to save the ones that were locked in. And he made a promise to their families to have them back by Christmas Day, and he did.
Really?
And that's why in my world, I like Americans like Ross Perot. Because everybody else will tell you a fucking story. Kissinger was trying to block him. He went around Kissinger. He was like, fuck this. My people are not going to spend the holidays in that fucking Iranian jail.
Oh, that was the Iranian Contra thing or whatever?
Well, this was more like
that Ben
80,
Affleck
79. Movie? No, I don't think it was maybe it was. Maybe it was. But they were something else, weren't they?
I'm not really good at...
I forget what that was. I got to get that book again. I read that book in prison. The Ross Perot story on Wings of Eagles. That's the name of the book. They made a series on NBC, a 3-part series on NBC. I was already locked in jail.
I'm going to have to go look that up because I don't...
My jail didn't have NBC. You know what I'm saying? So
that's fucked up. So he was just a business owner?
Ross Perot?
Yeah.
He was, he did something. Oil, I don't quote
No, we'll have to look it up.
He's a Texas guy.
Oh, of course.
And they went over there to do something. They held him. And he promised the family he'd be home by Christmas. And he did it. He had his own people break into the fucking jail over there with that dude. He was supposed to be like a Marlon Brando and Apocalypse Now type of dude.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
Like one of those commando type motherfuckers. Very interesting.
I forget if I think
he ran for president. He lost to Clinton.
I thought I knew the name. So I didn't realize he was a business guy before that.
He would come out and go, these guys are paying for this with your money. I'm paying for this with my money. Because we looked it up on the Rogan podcast. He was worth a couple billion.
Dude, I like him a lot now.
Oh, he was tough. He had big ears and shit. Tough, little guy. He fucking meant what he said, and he said what he meant. Old school American, old school fucking dude from Texas. Just old school. This is old school. When they say something to you, they fucking do it.
I can't imagine getting like your employee out of fucking prison. That's
I got
badass.
2 old guys that I would live like them if I had that money. Him and that other dude that married the fucking Playboy bunny when he was 90, that'd be me. If I had all that money and my wife was dead.
The one who died like a week later or whatever it was?
Whatever.
Anna Nicole Smith.
She had to suck his dick one time. I don't think they had Viagra then. That's the problem. Like he couldn't put it to the test. But with that kind of money, I'll go to New York and make them give me an implant that squirts and fucking things come out of the ceiling and fireworks, that type of shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Those are the only 2 options for you? Either you're gonna be a guy training his employees to save his other ones.
No, I don't have Perot money. I'm just saying if I did have Perot money, I would live like he lived. But I also liked Marshall. What was his name? Edgar Marshall or something like that. Marshall, that's the guy.
Yeah, I would go that way.
Fucking old. The guy had fucking blood spots on his head. He went into a strip club. He saw it. And he just fell in love with it. He gave her like a fucking diamond ring. When you could give a woman something and not even miss it.
Oh my God.
Like when I could take $2 million out to buy a woman something and it doesn't even put a crack in my account.
And even if it did, he knew he was dying. He was like, I'm going to have a fun, whatever it was.
I'm going to die my way, motherfucker.
Yeah. Why? Fuck your kids.
On my rules. I'm not going to die sitting in a room with ukuleles and priests taking my money. I'm going to get myself a big, fat, fucking looking blonde with a big ass and big titties.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a conscience and wants to live comfortably for the rest of her life. Like, listen, man, I'll give you my $60 million fortune, but you're going to suck dick until I drop. When I drop, you're going to be licking my nutsack with fucking whipped cream on it.
And good for her. How much, like, I think that's worth it.
Fuck yeah, to suck an old dick and to have $60 million. And then at the end, she got nothing.
She really got nothing?
Nothing.
I didn't follow
the son took everything, something.
That son
They
of a
got
bitch.
pissed. They're like, we don't think he was in the right mental state. Which he wasn't. He's 90, and she's putting that 23-year-old fucking monkey in his face that smells like barbecue chicken and God knows what else. Forget about it. He's like, ugh.
I think he was in the exact right mental state. His kids probably weren't helping him, hanging around, visiting him like once a month or something.
The dude did that from what was that team when the guy told her she couldn't date black people?
The Clippers.
The Clippers. He was old too. He just fucking said, I'm getting myself a young chick. You know what? I don't get a hard on, but it's better than looking at my old fat wife. I'm going to get her to dance for me with bikinis on and shit.
I think women are doing it too. Aren't they doing it now? Like I hear a lot of like, maybe not as big of an age difference, but like women are going for like 20-year-old guys when like 50 to 20. I would do it, dude.
Well, I love an older woman. I always have. There was a woman today I saw at the dentist this morning who had to be 58, 59, just stunning. Still had a little body, still had cute little feet. You know, usually when their feet start going, that's it. When they start getting those bunions and it goes crooked and shit.
Right, but dude, if you're in your 60s.
But you gotta see my feet. They ain't no portrait of Europe either. I was looking at my feet the other night. That's not, I have to go like a foot specialist and they gotta start from scratch. They gotta pull nails off.
They have to pull nails off? It's that bad?
I got a nail that points up like it goes north now.
What did he do to your feet?
Nail. I don't know. Listen, this fungi thing, I've done everything. And every time I eat mushrooms, they grow. Like I think the mushrooms from the fucking mushrooms go into my toenails because the other night I buffed them out and I got high in the room. I was seeing shit. Dog, I buff them out and it lands on my finger. You got to smell that finger. It is god awful.
So you get secondhand smoke from your toenail dust?
Oh, yeah. And you get
that is fucked up.
And I sprinkle them on the edibles and I give them to you. So a lot of
I know
people
you do.
that.
You keep saying, he keeps giving me these coconut ones that have this white powder on it.
That's it.
That look like they were like you packaged them.
And it had a weird taste to it.
Yeah, they use like they're sugar. They don't taste like sugar.
Yeah, that was like, the Neptotine, whatever they put.
Oh my God.
The sugar substitute.
Oh my God. Fucking crazy, dude.
What are you gonna do? We're getting older,
Yeah, but
my feet are fucked up. I mean, I looked at them the other day, I put cream on them. I got like blood spot. It's a nightmare. Like if I ever turn 90 and get a 16-year-old girlfriend, whatever I do is doing 23-year-old girlfriend, I'm gonna have to get my dick sucked with socks on. You know how embarrassing that is?
You don't like doing that?
With socks on the backpack. No.
Look at Bill Belichick. He's 73. She's 24.
No, that's abuse. That's abuse.
Dude, she has a joke.
This is a joke here. Okay, this is a joke. I don't think I could show my balls to a year. Listen, if you're 55, yeah, you can look at my balls. That's what you see every day of your life when you're 55. But when you're 26, you don't deserve that as a woman.
She's running for like Miss America, but she's like as Miss New Hampshire or Miss Maine, one of those two I just read. She has a job at the University of North Carolina.
Right, he got her a job now.
And she was in the Dunkin' Donuts Super Bowl commercial.
Right, because he put her in there, not because Dunkin' Donuts
exactly.
called her.
So I'm saying,
so it's a fucking
his balls
scam.
must not be that bad.
The what?
His balls must not be that bad.
No, they are bad. That's why he has to get her all those jobs for her to stick around. He's giving her 3 different fucking incomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so dog, it just doesn't look good. Like I know he's got a daughter or a son somewhere, and they have a hard time with that.
Oh yeah.
They have a hard time with that.
He has multiple kids.
Dog. Yeah. So I mean, when you have a 24-year-old girlfriend and your daughter is 38, it's just some shit that just doesn't look good.
Obviously, I know you're married. Nothing's ever going to change. But I had a rule when I was last single that I didn't want to go under 25. If in a different world at 62, what do you think the youngest you would go is?
45.
Okay.
I have something to discuss with her.
Right.
I have something to discuss. What am I going to do with a dog? Listen, 30-year-olds are great. They're great. They're cute. They're silly. But come on. There's not a lot of 30-year-olds that are going to hold you every day, that you're going to hold a conversation with every day. Now you're going, Joey, who the fuck are you kidding? You're in it for the blowjob. No, you don't. Because I come in a minute. What am I going to do for the other 23 fucking hours? Okay? I mean, that's how you have to look at it. I had a rule when I was younger. And as much people want to know or not, when I was doing coke in the 90s, before I met my wife, that whole 9-year run, I had a rule, man. And it's a simple rule. Look at her and talk to her. If you could wake up to her in the morning, bring her home with you. But if she's going to annoy the shit out of you, you might as well go home and jerk off. If she's already starting to get annoying late in the night, and drunk, and now she's gonna go back to your house. She's gonna be even drunker. Well, and then she's gonna pass out, and you're not gonna get. Then you gotta wake up to her with that drama in the morning, with that alcohol breath, and God knows what else. Now you gotta give her a ride home and shit. Think about it.
Oh,
So after I was like 30, after I left Boulder, I had more control in my mind like that. I had more control of what am I getting myself involved in. Because when I left Boulder, I was sleeping with women, but there was nothing. They call me at 2. Hey, do you have any blow? Yeah. Can I come over? I have a blow, and some of them will call, can I bring my girlfriend? No. Because then I got to work 2 chubbies. You know what I'm saying? No.
so did the rules change?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed these girls calling you at 2, or you going to a bar and seeing them and going, hey, man, I got a gram of Coke, and they're like, let's go back to your place. But after a while, I got old because there was nothing there. I'd see them a week later, and it was like nothing was there. And listen, everybody likes to have sex when they're coked up and shit. But it wasn't working for me anymore. I was by the age of 32, when I left Boulder, I'm like, when I get a girlfriend, I'm getting a girlfriend. And I met a girl, and I dated her for 4 years, and it was okay. And then after that, I went off for 2 years. And again, I was bumping into comedian chicks, on the road, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing again? Then I met Derry.
Oh, I hated just dating for exactly the reason why you said it.
Listen, do you want me to tell you what I like?
Yes.
I like picking you up, or you picking me up, smoking a joint, going and getting something to eat, going someplace else and getting a couple cocktails, talking a little bit. Listen, we all want to bang her the first night.
Of course.
But then again, now people are banging in 2 nights.
Listen, dude,
People are banging in 2 or 1 night now.
They're banging in an hour.
In an hour, So it's kind of very, I always liked working for it. I don't mind working for it. When something's too easy, you're not going to do anything with her anyway. When a chick tells you, I love to suck dick, you're not going to get your dick sucked at all. That's just stupidity coming out of her fucking mouth, and then your little ears get clogged up. You're buying her drinks at the bar, and next thing you know, she leaves with a chubby dude with a missing foot, and fucking you're drinking there. You're like, dude. I like the struggle. I like meeting a woman and talking to her, and meeting her mom and talking to the mom and the dad. That's another thing. Talking to them and seeing what you're going on, and then you want to eat their ass and have fun. That's something else, but at least you got something out of it.
Right.
Even if it don't work tomorrow, when I see you next time, it's going to be cool. I didn't do it for a month. I didn't do it for 6 months and get everybody going or starting. There was just little things, and it was just weird. After I got married and divorced, and then I went through that shit for 2 or 3 years of just coke chicks. Very seldom did I ask a chick out for dinner.
You just didn't want to?
I didn't meet them in that capacity. I would always meet chicks out at night when they were doing coke. Nobody wanted to eat it when they're doing coke. I can't even take it for a cheeseburger.
And so none of those coke nights ever turned into like, hey, let's actually go and be in a relationship, or all of those were like
2 or 3 times we'd hook up after that. Maybe I'd go to the house and smoke a joint one day. I was walking in the mountains, and I would go by the house and smoke a joint or something, and then, a week later, she's at a show with some other dude. And then a week later, they're calling me up, going, hey, can I come over at 3:30? No, yeah, what the fuck? I'm sitting here with my dick in my hand. You might as well come over.
Right, but then or do they even stay the night, or are they just, as soon as
some
the
of them
coke's
stayed
gone,
the
they're
night,
gone?
and some of them boogied at 4 or 5 in the morning after the D was done and the coke was gone.
Fuck. Because what you said, I think, was exactly right. If you're annoyed with them, or if they're not, if there's not someone you want to hang out with, it's always going to be bad. It's like what you were saying, like, of course guys want to get laid. I'm sure women do too.
Yeah, they go out, they get dressed up, they did their toenails, their fingernails. They don't want to go out to talk to somebody about insurance.
But that's different. That's different. Going to a club or a bar and hooking up, I think, is different than the dating apps. And because if you hook up and meet, I've had a couple women just come right over on the dating apps, and none of them were anybody that I should have been with. And not like I was 200 pounds too. I was
late at night, and you invited them to your house.
Yeah,
That's
no, it was 100% on. I'm not blaming them, but I'm just
meet them at McDonald's and see if they order what they order. If they order a fish sandwich, they smell like shit. Just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, if I got them at McDonald's, just come home. Dude, remember there was a girl you called Milkshake, and she wants my other friend, same girl, her nickname was Tater Tots because she Uber Eats tater tots and then got into an Uber to my house. Like people like, and at that point, I wasn't a prize either.
Uber Eats tater tots.
Oh, plenty of people.
That's some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, the crazy one to me is Starbucks, just getting coffee delivered.
I see that. No, and listen, man, people live in that world. I don't like nobody touching my shit, so I'm cool with it. But it's really weird that I'm telling you guys this because it's a true story. Like when I met Terry, I was ready for Terry. I was so ready for Terry. I didn't get serious with Terry at all for like 2 months. It was sporadic. We did coffee. I would go to her house for lunch. I would see her at the Comedy Store at night. Some nights if she was working, I wouldn't go down there. Then I'd disappear for 2 weeks. I wasn't really with her in the beginning.
You were like building a friendship?
Yes and no. We were swapping spit, that type of shit. But I still remember 2 months in, and this is when I knew, I got to get my life together. 2 months in, I finally started hooking up with her. And one night, we met at Ralphie's house. I told her I wouldn't see her for a couple of days. I was coming to New York. And I go, I'm not going to see you for a few days, but I'll definitely see you when I get back. And she showed up at Ralphie's like 2:30 in the morning. She goes, you know what? I want to hang out with you a little more. And we hung out. We stayed up the whole night. I'll never forget, I had maybe 4 cigarettes. That's the time I came through Denver and went behind the bar and just stole a pack of cigarettes from one of those coffee shops in the airport. That's how broke I was. I probably had 4 cigarettes, maybe a joint, and maybe $20. And it was like a Tuesday night when I was leaving. It was her slowest night. Like Wednesday night, she made like $35. She gave me the whole $35. And I go, what are you going to do for the day? And she goes, I got change at the house. And I'm probably going to sleep half the day anyway. And that's when I go, you know what? I got to get my life together. When I come back, I got to start dating her. She just gave me the last money out of her purse, the last pack of cigarettes she had, and she drove me to the fucking airport.
And dude,
and usually you're embarrassed in front of a girl.
Yeah.
If you need to do that. You're fucking embarrassed, okay?
And you didn't ask for it, I'm sure.
I didn't ask for it.
And just to tie this back into what we started the podcast with your friend who was come buy me dinner for my birthday. That's why you married Terry. And it's that kind of yeah, I'm sure you must think about that all the time. I would.
All the time. How she gave me that money, and I remember coming to New York and going, I got to get my life together. This is something that she's okay. I got to do something. And after that, I think I moved in with her maybe a month or 2 after that. And she still tells the story that when I got there, she goes, bring your clothes and your stuff. And I showed up with 1 bag. And she goes, where's the rest of your stuff? And I go, this is it. And she goes, don't you have a lamp? A radio, a TV, anything? And I'm like, no, this is it. I had a bag, guys.
Fuck.
When I moved in with my wife, I had a fucking bag.
And it probably wasn't that big. It was just a duffel bag, right?
It was a fucking army duffel bag. 4 pair of pants, a couple sweatshirts, a CD player, some socks, toothbrush, gel. I had no underwear. I couldn't afford them.
Well,
there was no underwear in those days. It was cocaine or underwear.
I was going to say, you could have afforded it.
What's window number 2?
Because, by the way, underwear is a one-time expense. It doesn't have to be a weekly.
But still.
You buy a couple packs of underwear.
Why waste the $8 on 3 of them? You know what I'm saying? $8 times every 3 months, that's what? Fucking
every 3 months you're buying underwear.
Yeah, every 3 months you gotta buy underwear. You're disgusting. I got big balls. My fucking, Oh. But there's a pic today. I saw a video of my balls.
Oh.
Somebody put it on Instagram. The one from when I took my balls out for the Comedy Store.
Okay.
Thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's still on YouTube. I got 92 million hits. I haven't gotten a dime. Fucking balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they probably demonetized it.
Yeah, they demonetized it. They kept all of my. I guarantee there's 20 ads on my balls. Fucking DV fucks. Well, but yeah, man, that was, it's weird that I'm about to have an anniversary with her this year. And I've been thinking a lot about that. But we got to cut to a break real quick. We're going to talk to you about DraftKings, Huel, and Nicked. All right? We'll be right back, cocksuckers. Hey, I want to welcome Huel to the church family. Listen, if you want the taste of a real milkshake without the extra pounds of a milkshake, you need Huel. Huel is a complete meal in a bottle that tastes just like a milkshake, but it's good for you. It has 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals to keep you going all day long. Me, I love the chocolate. I haven't tasted the vanilla yet, but the chocolate is scrumptious. You know what I'm saying? Choose between chocolate and vanilla, because both of them are incredible. Join the community of hooligans with this exclusive offer for new customers, okay? 15% off plus a free gift when you press in code CHURCH, CHURCH, at Huel.com. Again, 15% off plus a free gift for new customers with code CHURCH at Huel.com. See our show notes for terms and conditions. But do me a favor, unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. You're on a run. You're on a move. You're the real deal. You ain't got time to cook it up. 35 grams of protein, 27 minerals and vitamins. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Yo, DraftKings, get excited because the NBA playoffs are here. If you're looking to score some cash, try your hand at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. If it doesn't have to be crazy, just start out by placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Like tonight, I got whatever to do over 25 points. Not bad. Think they'll drop 30? Put your money where your mouth is. You could win big. Listen, you know me. I love DraftKings. The same game parlay, NBA, they got the pool, you got the casino. It don't stop. You got to check this out. They got something special for first-timers. You ready? New DraftKings customers. Right now, new people. You're going to bet $5 to get your 200 in bonus bets just like that. 200 in bonus bets instantly is a lot of money during NBA playoff time. So make it to a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and press code JOEY, J-O-E-Y. That's code JOEY, J-O-E-Y, for new customers to get 200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 instantly. Only at DraftKings, where the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
What's happening, beautiful people? Uncle Joey here for Nick. Listen, if you want the easiest way to get that nicotine fix, Nick Pouches is where it's at. They're made with natural coconut fibers, so they're not going to slice up your gums, and they come in a bunch of great flavors like strawberry, watermelon ice, which is tremendous, wintergreen, and berry lemon ice. Me, I like the berry lemonade, tremendous. You get to choose your nicotine strength, whether you want 3, 6, or 12. Are you kidding me or what? Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Nick has you covered. Coming soon, they even got an option with 0 milligrams of nicotine. So if you're trying to come back, if you're trying to cut back, use one of those every so often. Now listen, I love this berry ice. You put it under here, heaven. It's time to upgrade to Nick nicotine pouches, just like I did. Right now, church listeners get 35% off when you order through my link, nykdpouches.com/church. Again, nykdpouches.com/church. Use this code up to 3 times. Don't wait. Get 35% off now of Nick Pouches, nykdpouches.com/church. And check out the church bundle with some of Uncle Joey's favorite flavors. That's right, nykdpouches.com/church. Again, remember, NYKD products are only for adults of legal age. Every order is age verified, so don't try it. Also, this product contains nicotine, but you already know that because nicotine is an addictive chemical. How's that for you? Right now, get some Nick products and get the party started. We're back in black. You know, I was talking before the break about that this year, this June, will be 25 years I'm with that crazy woman.
That's crazy. 25.
25 years. When she mentioned it to me like 2 months ago, what are we doing for our anniversary? I'm like, what anniversary? And she's like, July. We've been together 25 years, Joe. And it destroyed my insides. I'm like, how the fuck did I last 25 years with a woman? I never thought I could make it past 4 years. Like, I lasted 4 years with my ex-wife. I lasted 4 years with the girl after that. You know, I was a 4-year man.
I mean, and I love you, but do you ever think, because like for Terry to put like to deal with, because Joey Diaz, 24 hours a day, like that's 25 years, like I don't think a lot of people would have made it. Like,
well,
and you're a great husband. I'm not saying you do anything wrong.
It's not as bad as you think. It's not like it's.
I'm not saying but I'm just saying it to last for anybody to last. But you know, like you've talked, and this is not a negative thing about you at all. But just you've talked about, like, especially at the beginning, how wild you were to last through those years. It's not easy.
For 7 years, she didn't know if I was coming home or not.
That's crazy.
Because even when I was home, she's like, when is this motherfucker? When is the phone going to ring? And when is he going to leave again? She used to get really upset. Like, you were home at 12. When I went to bed, you were home. I got up at 7 to go to work, and you were not home.
Where would you go?
I would fucking go out in Hollywood.
You just didn't like being home, or like?
Dog, I had a drug problem.
Oh, okay.
When you have a drug problem, you don't want to be at fucking home. I would bring the drugs home, do them, and then go, what am I doing here? I got to get out of here. And I'd get back, wait till I'd sober up a little bit, make some calls, and get the fuck out of there. And in those days, there was always somebody up in Hollywood. Always. I had a friend over on whatever. She was a drunk, and there'd be people over there. She went to the bar. So at 3, she'd go home hammered and bring gay guys over there, and they'd be doing coke and shit. And I'd slip by there. I had a couple Mike Favormans. I'd slip by his house at 2. In those days, there was always action. The guys at the store would hook up again at 2 and go to some parties and shit. And I would let them know, and they would call me. It was a different world then. And then, like, by 2005, the paranoia started hitting me different. I wasn't going out after I got home at night. It slowed down a lot. Then I got offered in 2007. The rest was... But it's funny, I was thinking about that neighborhood. That one night I went downstairs to meet I had 3 dealers at the time. And I didn't want them to know what I was doing. I didn't want them to know how much I was doing, so I would go to all 3 of them instead of just sticking to one. And the guy at night, he was a bartender. His name was Johnny Blade. I used to call him Johnny Blade. And he would come over on a motorcycle. He got out of work at 2. He'd be by my house like 2:25. I could time him every night. Because it was 2 blocks away. And I'd be downstairs. And I remember one night I'm waiting for him. And I'm out there on the steps and I'm looking. And there used to be a light. Not on my block, but a YMCA. But down the block there was a light. And I'm looking at this light. And I'm looking at this car, and the light turns red, and he's in no danger of stopping. I could hear the engine going, and he's like, whoa, and he flew past me. And not 2 seconds after, the car was chasing him and was shooting with a gun. And you could hear the bullets, and you pow, pow, and I'm out there, fuck. Maybe I should go inside. Fuck, no, I'm waiting for my coke. I don't give a fuck who gets shot.
Holy shit.
Like, that neighborhood used to be fucking insane. So that's what I'm saying to you. I was out. I would go to Sergio's house. Sergio always had parties late night over there. He would fall asleep, and I'd take the coke out of his pocket. And then he'd call me in the morning. What happened, man? I had an 8-ball in my pocket. Somebody took it out. That chick. That white chick. Blame it on her. It was just a different fucking world, Hollywood, back then. I would do spots at the store, and that's where the party started.
Right.
It was at the store where the party originated, you know, and in those days, I mean.
And meanwhile, you're like starting a relationship with Terry. So yeah, and then there's been a few different phases, because then like you stopped doing coke.
Terry was phases, because I still remember Terry waking me up one morning, like after breakfast, and go, I need to talk to you. And those days, Marilyn Martinez would call the house every night at 3 in the morning. Like, just to see. In those days, Dice used to call the house at 3 in the morning.
And was it a house phone or a cell phone?
It was a house phone, so the whole house would ring. And one night, I wasn't home, and Marilyn called at 3 in the morning, and when my wife answered it, she goes, "Cocksucker!" And Terry fucking blew a gasket. My wife loved Marilyn, God rest her soul, but she kind of got a little like, you know.
At 3 in the morning, cocksucker's a little bit much.
Yeah, and when the next morning we had breakfast, and she's like, "I got to talk to you about something." She goes, "You know, I've dated guys, but this is fucking insane, Joey. The phone rings, you got to go out, fights at the Comedy Store, fucking." That was the heyday of the Comedy Store. She was watching everything. Remember, I would host on Sunday nights, so she was watching everything. There was always a dilemma up there. There was always an argument. I was always torturing those fucking guys, and she would deal with all this. She would have to deal with all this shit, you know, and, you know, there was a lot of times when you're at the Comedy Store, man. You're at the fucking Comedy Store. You do a set, you get off, women are going to talk to you. And the other waitresses run and go, "Joey's talking to a girl in the hallway." Look, even if I was talking to her outside, I'm talking to her in the hallway, so she would know. That's why my wife don't give a fuck about nothing now. Because my wife was at the store those first 4 years, and she saw it.
Right.
She saw it. She saw the life of a comic, and then she came home with me. So she saw the life of a comic from the inside out. Like, she saw it. And she understood it, and she heard about what the other comics were doing, and then she just left me the fuck alone. Until this day, I have, as a husband, I have one of the longest ropes in the world. If I call my wife right now and go, "Hey, I'm not coming home tonight, I'm going to stay at the office," she wouldn't say nothing to me. She trusts me that much. So she would go, "Okay, just be careful tonight. You're going to go out?" "No." "If you go out drinking?" We don't even talk about drinking.
Right.
But there's no, like, she doesn't, she walked into Osteria one night. I was talking to 2 women. And she came right over. I introduced them. The women were like, "Oh, my God." You know, she knows. She fucking knows. I tell her pretty much everything, even though sometimes it takes me a week or 2. You know what I'm saying? But I still tell her. And she giggles, and, you know, she likes it. I tell her about stupid chicks, and she fucking giggles. And she's been with me. Dog, she was with me at dinner one night when a fucking girl said something to me. And she was pissed. She was like, "How dare that woman say that in front of me?"
A girl hit on you in front of your wife?
Oh, yeah.
And she's alive?
We were at a big restaurant, and the girls were there. There
Oh,
was
okay.
kids there and shit. And I got up to go to the bathroom. And when I was coming out, there was 2 girls. They're like, we take a picture. So my wife was going to the bathroom with the girls, and my wife heard the whole fucking thing. I even said to my wife, "Honey, I'm going to take a picture and get to the table." She goes, "Don't worry, I got to go into the thing with one of the girls and the mom." And as she was walking, that's when the girl said it in my ear. Said something really, like, out of control. Like, I just sat there and go, "This is a confused girl. I show her my balls, she's going to faint 3 times and gag." But she had to be a prostitute. She was really good looking, very flamboyant. She looked like she was a prostitute.
If she's talking about that stuff with your wife right next to you,
Oh, yeah.
she's something.
Like, they say crazy shit. My wife giggles, you know. You got to remember, the people I hang out with in my neighborhood are women. I hang out with 2 women pretty much in my neighborhood.
You always hang out with women.
They're both married. I have a great time with them. I made one my partner. I made little stupid videos of her for Goalie and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Steve's wife.
Of course.
And then Ravioli. I always talk to Ravioli every 2 days about something.
You know what? I don't think we've ever talked about. How did you feel about dating her when she worked at the store? Because that doesn't seem like something you would allow. Not
Something that I wouldn't allow?
just for yourself personally, like just dating someone where you work there.
Listen, when I met Terry, I'd been going to the store for 3 years. I was a regular there. Never really had any drama in there. I know rules. There's rules of comedy, especially on the road. Rule number 1 is don't hit on the waitresses on the road. Even if they like you, don't hit on them, because that club owner watches everything. And eventually going to fire her, and then you're not going to be able to go there, especially as a feature act. Because feature acts are wild. When I was a feature act, I had to do 30 minutes and just hang out by the bathroom.
You'd hang out by the bathroom?
Yeah, and wait for girls to come over. Hi, that was funny. Oh my God. And I start to, especially when I opened for Rogan.
Wow. Yeah.
Just they would come up to you. Oh my God, can you introduce me to Rogan? Yeah, but no. I'm just saying that it was when you're a feature act, you're buck wild. You make mistakes, man.
Right.
And I made them, and I never went back to those clubs. And they would make 1,000 excuses, but at the end of the day, I knew why. I either did coke with a waitress, I slept with a waitress. There's just little rules, and I wasn't paying attention to it. I love to tell you, I was paying attention. In those days, I didn't give a fuck. If it wasn't the Improv or fucking a theater, I didn't give a fuck. I would never think, I never thought I was going to get back. So I wouldn't mind burning a bridge from time to time. But back to your question, which is a very interesting question. When I saw Terry, there was something about Terry. I liked her eyes. And we started talking, and I was like off the kilter. And that's why I was like hitting on her kind of lightly, because I know Mitzi didn't allow it. I know Mitzi didn't allow it, and she didn't like it. But if you were in already and she found out, she wouldn't care.
Right. She's
And
not.
she didn't find out that we were already living together. It was too late. I already told Mitzi we're living together. Oh.
Would she have been mad if she found out not from you?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's a whole nother
I
thing.
didn't
to
like
unpack.
it either. Listen, if you think I like dating a girl that I live with at the fucking Comedy Store, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But in reality, it kept an eye on me.
Right.
It watched over my career because I could have made a bad mistake those years. And she was right there to justify it or go, no. And it was funny. After she started working at the store, there was still some nights of craziness. Don't get me wrong.
Right. I'm
Some
sure.
stuff that she saw, not from me. Not from me. So she started understanding the game more. And then she would put labels on, like if that happens to you, Joey, she's not, we would discuss it. So she got to see that also. The craziness was women in the audience. When they're there with a man and they come up to you and go and fuck you upstairs and then go back and sit with that man. That never happened to me. But it happened at the store. It's a reality that it fucking happened. So, listen, I don't know how it worked. There's days I'm like, fucking 25 years and a kid. And a kid. I had a woman who ran from me when we got divorced. She fucking ran like her asshole was on fire. Ran. Talked about me, fucking tortured me in the courtroom, tortured me in life. I took a beating. I didn't ever want to get married, and I didn't ever want to have a child again. But I met Terry. And in the relationship, I was like, this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna last, because I'm a fucking animal. And at that time, I was out there where the buses don't run. But she calmed me down a little bit, and then I got off the coke, and then like a year after I got off the coke, there were some problems at the house. She was like, I'm getting old, and nothing's happening here. And I was like, I told you when we hooked up, there's no marriage in this fucking house. I already did it. I failed. No reason to do it again. Once you fail at something like that, like marriage, like I failed the most basic thing you could fail at, communication. That's basic. Communication is basic. And we get together with women for different reasons. And yes, it's okay if you don't like somebody after 8 fucking years. Mm-hmm. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. But in that situation, I failed because I had everything in front of me. I had a job with her. I liked her family, but I also wanted to do fucking comedy. I also wanted to do comedy in a bad way. There was no way I was going to go fucking sell roofs for the rest of my life. I had to at least know that I failed at comedy, and then I would go back to a job happily. But there was no way at that age I wasn't going to get into comedy. It had been on my mind for too long, you know?
Right. And then, because I don't necessarily think you fail. It wasn't a great end to the relationship. But I think it's better. I honestly think it's better to break up than to stick around for the kids.
I see it now. I see it now when I go to softball games, parents who don't communicate. The kid knows.
100%.
The fucking kid always knows. So in my house, listen, when you walk in my house, especially with my daughter and shit, I wanted my house to be completely opposite of the house I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
We all do, right? We're like, I didn't like that about my house. I didn't like that about my house, and I didn't like that about my house. If I get a house someday, it's going to be different. And that's what I've done with this house. And one of the things is like a no pressure. Like, we don't have to get up at 8 and everybody has to jump in the shower and you run out of hot water. Like, she gets up, let her jump in the shower, and my wife, and I lurk. I lurk till about 9 o'clock. Then I jump in, I get out at 10 after 9. So that takes a lot of stress. There's just little things that nobody drinks in the house. Nobody drinks alcohol in that house. So there's no fucking arguments. There's no drunk talk. There's none of that shit in my fucking house. I smoke dope in the garage, or sometimes I go outside in front of the car. You know, nothing's in my fucking house. Like, I don't want no smoke upstairs. I don't want, this is what I have to do to maintain this house with a daughter in the house.
Would it be different with a son?
Yes and no. You still have a child in the house.
Right.
So there's a certain way you have to act when you have this child in the house. You know, I don't want to smoke pot in my living room.
No.
I'd rather she don't see me and she
have her suspicions, maybe.
Have her suspicions. I'd rather her do that. And she knows.
Right. Of
she
course
even told me when she knows where my stash is. But I don't want it to be the Grateful Dead in my house with a bunch of fucking people drunk. That was never going to happen.
No, dude. And it's crazy because I have this written down. Another word I would use for what you're talking about, and I think you've used it before, is peace.
Peace.
Like,
Peace
it's crazy how much of a difference that has when you have when you have like a peaceful life. How much of a difference it makes in their whole life.
When I tell you, George, Nick, my wife, Christina, that I love you. When somebody tells you they love you, like, what the fuck? What are we, gay? What are we, faggots? No, that's a promise that I'm never going to bring stress into your life. That's a promise that a cop's not going to call you at 3 a.m. and go, George, come bail him out. You know, all the things that would upset George, would upset you, I had to do that. That's when you tell people you love them, I'm not going to put no drama in your fucking life. Nobody's going to knock on your door, go, Joey killed somebody at 3 a.m, come down to the state. No. If anything, I'm here to help you. If anything, and if I don't have it, we'll get it. We'll figure it the fuck out. George knows I'll climb through a fucking window. George saw me on a Friday, took a stereo with the fucking Social Security check. He knows. George knows. Don't fucking test me, motherfucker. Because I'll take it. I'll take everything. I'm an old school fucking thief. I will take everything. You understand me? But nobody's going to starve in my camp.
No.
Not in these days. Not no more. Not like when we did. Nobody's going to fucking starve. We'll steal it. I don't give a fuck. What are they going to do? Throw you in jail? No, they won't. No, they won't. You know what I'm saying?
They might.
Who gives a fuck? But that's really it, man. 25 fucking years, a long time to be with a woman. And listen, man, I love her just the same in the beginning, even more now. Now we just giggle and shit. It's great. Now you know each other. I smell her farts. She can't tolerate mine. You know what I'm saying?
25 years. Yeah, that's
25 years. And when you heard that about people, like people been together 30 years, you're like, that's never going to happen to me. I'm going to be with the same fucking pussy for 30 years and look at it turn gray and old. Nah, dog, it's an adventure. It gets better. Everything gets better.
That's cool. And especially because it happened, like, there's probably a lot of people listening who, like, had a marriage fail. Or everyone's had a relationship fail.
We all have shit, but you know what? I always believe that God didn't put you here to die by yourself. There's an ass for every seat. Remember Dale Jones used to say that? There's an ass for every fucking seat. Okay? And women panic. Women are the worst. Women are the fucking worst. Because once they hit 34, they think this is it. I got to meet this guy. Then they meet a guy that's the worst one they've ever met. But they don't see sheep, what's that expression? A wolf in sheep's clothing, because they're so overwhelmed with the child and the fucking marriage and, pigeons and my cousins coming in from Hialeah, and they don't, and that's the biggest mistake they make. Now they're 43, still looking good with 2 fucking kids. And that bum ain't paying child support. And he sees the kids once a week. So you ended off in a worse position than you were by not just getting dick. It's like my friend's mom, my dear friend, called me, and we were talking about her daughter. 34, I'm the 20th boyfriend, And you're like, after a while, you got to say to yourself, wait a second, this pussy is making some horrible fucking choices. I'm going to get off the dick for 1 year. I'm going to get off the dick, like what I did. Get off the pussy for a year, just to focus you, to make you realize what you really want in a woman or in a man before you make a bad fucking mistake. We've all made mistakes where in our mind, this is going to be it. I'm going to marry her, pigeons, I'm going to live like a doctor. No, it's not always that way. It's not always that way because you went with a preconceived notion. It happens for men and it happens to women. When you're 34 and you want to get married as a man and you've been dating whores all your life that cheat on you, fuck your brother, steal your car and crash it, you got to change dicks. You have to look at it from a different perspective and go, you know what? I'm not going to date a woman for a year. No more fucking websites, no more nothing. I'm taking a year off from pussy to make me really realize and build the woman or the man I want in my head to pop up next time. I know what I want, and this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, everybody wants a chick with fake tits who could suck a dick. Listen, 3 years in, you don't make the car payment. Those bitches are gone to another guy who'll fucking pay for their tits. And I always learned something from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was a good-looking Chinese guy, international star. His wife was no fucking playmate, but she stood by him. And that's the woman that calmed him down, and that's a lesson for a lot of people. When you're 21, everybody wants to marry Farrah Fawcett. When you're 30, you'll marry that chick with the missing toe from the bartender at that fucking dump bar you hang out with. Because that's it. The window's closing. And that's what we all do. We start getting desperate. Oh, my God, I'm not going to have a child. Oh, my God, I'm going to die alone. And we make the worst fucking mistake because we're going in there with something. What happened to just getting together, sucking my dick, I eat your pussy, we smoke a joint, you go home. Let's start with that. Let's start with a walk to Carvel, and we'll take it from there. I'll suck your tit in the car. You know what I'm saying? What happened?
What happened on the third date?
Huh?
What's the third date?
Ice cream. Whatever. Carvel. I don't know. But these are the decisions if you're gonna go to a bar and you're gonna hit on a girl and she's snorting coke with you and she just broke up with her boyfriend and he's an animal and you're gonna get engaged to her, that's not gonna work. She's been getting fucked at bars for 20 years. And when she dumps your ass, she's going right back to that fucking bar. Yeah. So these are things you got to know. Like people, you want to meet a whore, go to a fucking bar and get one of those chicks with the tight shirts on. You want to meet a smart chick, go to a fucking library. I met my wife at a fucking comedy store. What do I know?
And go to work, dude. And it's crazy. Like you've talked about your other relationships. Like, it sounds like you might have put like a little bit more effort in with Terry than you did with other ones. Or like
I didn't want to get married to the other ones. Like I didn't. After I got divorced, listen, I met my wife when I was basically 20 fucking years old. 21 years old, I met her. And here's the scary thing.
Your first wife.
My first wife. This August, I'll know that bitch for 40 fucking years. I met her August of 85. It's April of 2025.
Yeah.
She knows me like the back of my fucking hand, that bitch.
Even though you haven't spoken in a while?
Yeah, because she was there in the beginning. She saw the animal.
Wow.
So I met her in 85, and we were done in 91, maybe. You got to figure I didn't see her for 6 months. I was locked up. Listen, man, it is what it is. And I wasn't going to get married again after that. I lost everything. I paid debt till fucking 10 years ago. I paid debt on that fucking divorce.
So, because you said like you weren't going to get married. What made you decide to finally get married?
I wasn't going to get fucking married.
Right.
And I had met other girls, and some of them were nice. Some of them were, nobody was marriage material. Honestly, you want me to tell you what made me marry Terry?
Yeah.
When I woke up at 4 a.m. one day and she had my football suit out for the longest yard. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This ain't a regular girlfriend. This is not a regular girlfriend. Up with me, because I had to be there at 5. So I would have to get up at 3:45. Sometimes I just stop snorting coke at 3:30. She would get up, fucking, I'd take a shower, put the football suit on. She'd make me a little breakfast just so I wouldn't drive down there 45 minutes with nothing in my stomach. A lot of people don't do that. They wouldn't give a fuck if you left hungry. So that gave me all the consideration. It's really funny. There's an episode of Sopranos when he's going to go out and meet the realtor. And he goes to a house, but that's the night that she helps him button his shirt.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember that? She helped him button his shirt. That's a really good scene. At least it was for me because I understood. And then he went to this girl's house and he was dying to fuck her. But as he was taking off his shirt, he thought about his wife. And he goes, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing here? I just got shot in the head. She was by me for 6 weeks. And then I was home for fucking 4 weeks. And there she is. And now I'm going to fuck the first chick that moves around. And I learned that when I was like 20. The guy who used to own the gas station across the street from North Bergen had everything. The Porsche, he was 25. He had a Porsche, a house in Miami, a truck, and all these women would go to that gas station because he was a good-looking Spanish dude. And I remember a girl that has a boyfriend that was going to get married came up to me one day and she goes, you're really tight with him. Tell him I want to sleep with him one night on the side. Nobody will know. I go, okay. Next time I saw George, I go, hey, man. We started talking about girls, and he goes, yeah, she's pretty hot. I go, listen, you didn't hear from me, but she told me if you wanted to sleep with her, she would give you a piece of ass. And he looked at me for a minute, and he goes, she's really pretty, but it's not for me. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, bro, I've been with my wife when we lived in a one-bedroom apartment with no money. What kind of man would I be now to cheat on her? And I was like, that's character.
Yeah. I think it would just destroy them, I think. It's great. Even when you were saying that when you showed up at Terry's house with a bag and to think about what you have now, but like, she's been there to see what you guys have built is pretty crazy.
That's why I tell her everything. It doesn't matter what the fuck I do, I'll tell her. Because she'll look at me and go, what the fuck, Joey? I just tell her, because why lie to her?
It's not good.
Anything I do with anybody, I pretty much tell her.
When did you start doing that?
Tell her. I started doing that like 8 years in. If I have an experience with a woman, I tell her. I get it off my chest before she hears it secondhand or sees a picture. At the end of the day, nothing happened. But I sat with her for 3 hours at Joe Rogan's bar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A couple people said something to me about that.
Why?
It was that girl. I was like, listen, she's a dear friend of mine. I'm 62. I'm in no mood. This shit don't get up all the time. This dick don't get hard like it used to. What if you make a call and your dick don't get hard? How embarrassing am I going to be? You know what I'm saying? So I cover my bases. At home, I could fail. I could shoot a dud at home. She's been with me for 25 years. Fucking some young chick. It's not even, it's fun. I love going out at night and talking to fucking some young chick. I told you I went to a strip club about a month ago and I was talking to a black girl all night. Didn't ask her for a dance or anything. At the end of the night, she goes, you're going to give me $100? I said, absolutely. And I just gave her $100. I needed that $100 the next day. But I made her fucking world. And that's going to come back to me tenfold. And I didn't try to fuck her. And she's still my friend on Instagram. We'll be back next week, cocksuckers. Tip Top Magoo. What do you got this week? Anything?
Yeah, May 4th, I'm at Broadway. Greenwich Village Comedy Club.
There you go. And me, May 8th, May 17th, Philadelphia. It's sold out, so I don't even know why I'm promoting the date. Go to the Excite page and look to see if they have tickets for August. I'm sure they'll have a bunch of tickets. Come on out, knock yourself out, have some fucking cheesesteaks at Merlino's, and do what you need to do. I love you, cocksuckers.
Love you guys.
Have a great week, and we'll be back next Tuesday. Tip top Magoo. It'll be like May 8th or something. Stay black, cocksuckers. Love you.
Back to church!